A very good morning, everyone. We are excited to welcome Ms. Katie Cole, Head of Product at the Miracle Foundation, for an insightful fireside chat as part of our year-long celebrations for InApp's 25th anniversary. It's Katie's second time visiting India, and we've been very fortunate to welcome her to our office. Welcome, Katie. Since 2021, Miracle Foundation has partnered with InApp to drive technological innovations and develop their Thrive Well platform. The Miracle Foundation, a renowned international non-profit, is committed to providing children with safe, stable, and permanent family environments. Their vision is a world where every child belongs to a loving family, whether in an orphanage or within the foster care system. This partnership has thrived for over 3 years, with continuous efforts to enhance and optimize these tools. To start, we will share a short video about the Miracle Foundation, followed by the fireside chat hosted by Suji.
In a world where every child deserves a loving family, Miracle Foundation is working tirelessly to make that vision a reality. A renowned international non-profit, Miracle Foundation is dedicated to providing vulnerable and foster children with safe, stable and permanent family environments. Guided by two key goals, reuniting children in childcare system with their families and preventing them from entering the childcare system, Miracle Foundation is committed to ensuring every child finds a home where they can thrive. To achieve this, they harness cutting-edge technology through their innovative Thrive Well platform. With Thrive Scale, they monitor safety and family permanence, while FosterShare connects foster parents and caseworkers, enhancing the welfare of every child. Since 2021, Miracle Foundation has partnered with InApp to develop and refine the Thrive Well platform. This collaboration has thrived for over 3 years, continuously innovating tools that change the lives of children for the better. At the heart of this effort is Katie Coley, Head of Product at Miracle Foundation. With over a decade of experience in high-tech product development, Katie leads the strategy for ThriveScale and FosterShare, bringing her expertise and passion to create solutions for children's welfare. Miracle Foundation is changing the lives of children around the world, and InApp is proud to be their tech partner, helping build solutions that make a real difference. Join us in building a world where every child has a safe, stable, and loving family.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this fireside chat. Today, we have the pleasure to discuss a topic which is both vital and close to our hearts, the child welfare system, and some of the remarkable work being done to transform the lives of vulnerable children. So we have seen this short introduction about Miracle Foundation, the company dedicated to providing safe, stable, and permanent homes for children. So their innovative approach has made a significant impact. And today we will delve deeper into their mission and also explore some of the pressing questions related to child welfare systems. So I am excited to introduce our guest, Katie Cole, Head of Product, Miracle Foundation. So she'll share her insights and experiences with us. Welcome, Katie.
Thank you, Sinchi. We are thrilled to have you here.
So let's get started.
Sounds great.
So to start with, could you provide an overview of the current child welfare system, current state of child welfare system, and what are some of the pressing challenges that children and family face today?
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you all for having me here today and this week. You've been such wonderful hosts, so just wanted to say thank you for that. And let's talk a little bit about the child welfare system and what it looks like. Over the last several years, we've really started to notice a shift in how we're approaching child welfare globally. There really is more of a focus on moving towards family-based care instead of institutional care. So that's a really great shift because we understand that there is really no better place for a child to grow and thrive than within a family. There have been many studies that show the importance that a family has on the outcomes of a child. So the fact that the global world is identifying that families are the appropriate place for a child to grow up is really an awesome shift. But with any system, there are always a lot of challenges. And the three biggest challenges we've seen working in this space, the first one is around the children entering the system. They're entering the system because of really preventable circumstances. It's really mostly around poverty. That's why these children have been entering into institutions. So that's one challenge that they're facing. Another challenge that they're facing are the children that are aging out of the system. We're not adequately preparing these children for what it's going to be like in the real world once they leave the institution, which leads to really high rates, these children being incarcerated, homeless, or even ending in death. So we can be doing a much better job of preparing these children for leaving the system. And the last one that is really key is just the high turnover rate that we're seeing within the case managers and caseworkers in the system. And a large part of that is due to burnout because of the really high rates of work that they have to do. Their caseload is far above what they should be doing. And so case manager turnover happens. And we know that if a child has a single caseworker, they have about a 78% chance of being reunited with a family. As soon as that drops down to 2, as if they have a second caseworker, that drops down to about 15%. So it makes a really big impact on that child if the case manager leaves the system while they're still in it. So those are some of the biggest challenges we're facing in the child welfare system. While we have that great win of moving away from institutional care to family-based care, there are still all these challenges we still have to face.
Thanks for sharing this. And especially the direction change from institutional family-based care, I think it aligns clearly with the foundation's goal of reuniting children with families.
Absolutely.
So often we think about child welfare systems as complex, and also they are being criticized for these challenges like the legal frameworks, disparity in policies, lack of coordination among the people involved, so on and so forth. Okay, so what are some of the systemic issues that needs to be addressed at priority?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest systemic issues is just the lack of focus on prevention. Institutions aren't really focusing on families and children until they've hit a crisis point. They've hit that crisis point where the child has to be removed from the family. So our system isn't really doing anything to identify families that are at risk before they hit that crisis level. And then once they do identify the family, once they do hit that kind of critical mass and they have to take the child out, they're not focusing on how do we get them back to the family. They're still just focused on giving the resources to the child while they are in the institution. So that's really some of the big systemic issues there that we're facing. And another one is the fact that there's not a lot of cross-collaboration between individual government sectors. When you look at child welfare, it's not that there's one entity in a government that's focused on child welfare. There's usually 5 to 10 to 20, because again, it's often related to issues like poverty or abuse, which are focused in different areas of government as well. So within the government, there are these siloed sectors. And then in addition to that, there's not a lot of cross collaboration between the government sector and the private sector. So everybody's working on these issues in a very siloed manner, which is we're just kind of fighting against ourselves and not really doing the best to create a solid network to support the families and children in need. So these are the biggest systemic issues that we're facing in the child welfare area.
Okay. So what are some of the strategies and initiatives Miracle Foundation has introduced to address?
So for Miracle Foundation, we really focus on family strengthening programs, and we execute these programs through our partners. Through our partners, we work with families to address the underlying issues like poverty, housing insecurity, and to provide those families with resources they need to safely care for their children. So that's at the heart of everything we're doing is around family strengthening and really the holistic approach of family strengthening. And another item there that is really important to us is getting all of these caregivers communicating. So it's strengthening the family by getting these caregivers communicating and also just providing them with all of the resources they need to be successful, not just some of the resources that they need to be successful. We focus on transitioning children. So when we think about family strengthening, there's a couple of different ways you can look at that. The first way is transitioning children out of institutional care, whether that is a CCI or if that's the foster system. So how do we get children out of institutions and back with families is a key priority for us. And then another priority for us is related to preventing children from ever being separated from their families in the first place. So we approach family strengthening from both of those angles.
So I think wonderful to hear about all these initiatives from Miracle Foundation side. Earlier you mentioned about like the facing some challenges while they transition to adulthood. So do you provide any programs focusing on?
Yeah, so here in India, we have a team that's actually dedicated to youth programming. And we are currently researching that in the US as well, learning from what the team in India is doing, but how we can actually apply some of those lessons learned to the context of the US. So really focused a lot on education and financial security and preparing these children emotionally to be a part of society are some of the key things that we focus on in those youth programs.
Oh, great to hear that. Yeah. And I'm curious, like, how do you manage the cultural differences when you work globally? Like, you work with the US and the Indian childcare systems, right?
Yeah.
So do you tailor your programs to that region?
Absolutely. So I think that the key thing to remember here is that 80% of child welfare is going to be the same process, right? The same problems cause children to be separated from their families, regardless of where they're located. If they're in India, if they're in the US, if they're in Africa, 80% of it's the same. But how those things, how they approach or maybe different standards of living, right? There are different qualities that we have to look at from the regional context, different regulations, different laws that are there. But we really focus on bringing team members who are very well aware of the regional context. We try to remember that if we're on another side of the world, we're not going to have all the information that's needed to do work in another area. So we really try to get teammates and partners with other organizations to help us get the context we need so that we can apply that. We can make those little shifts to the 20% that's different so that it's more readily accepted and understandable by all the people in that region, whether those are staff at a partner organization or the clients themselves, such as the families or the children. That's how we focus on it.
Thank you for that. And do you see some improvements in the Indian childcare system because you work with Indian?
Yeah, I think what we've seen over the last 10 years is that there's a better understanding that the immediate answer as soon as there's a problem in a family is not necessarily put the child in a child care institution. We've been doing a lot of work with governments to help them understand the benefits of family-based care and some of the damaging factors of institutional care so that the people that are really in charge of saying, yes, this child needs to be separated and put into a childcare institution. We've been getting in, talking with them. They have a better understanding that maybe that's not the best solution. And in the last 10 years, we've really seen a big shift that they're understanding, hey, family-based care is probably the way to go. And even through some laws that have been recently enacted, supporting the fact that family-based care is a priority for country of India. So we've seen a lot of great movement in that direction as well.
So great to see that.
Yes.
Indian childcare.
Yes.
So coming into the role of technology, so how has technology changed the way child welfare services are being delivered and managed?
Yeah, so I think that the thing that we're seeing is that technology has not been a part of child welfare in the past. If organizations do have technology, it's usually pretty antiquated. It hasn't been touched in a long time, or it's really more of a database, a filing system rather than a tool that's going to actively help the staff of these organizations care for the children and the families. So we see a shift coming in how technology is going to support the child welfare system. And we at Miracle Foundation, we're trying to lead the charge in making that technology shift happen. And we want to be thinking about, because the staff members are so overworked and overwhelmed with the amount of cases that they're handling, how do we help these case managers work smarter, not harder, through technology and scale the outcomes that we're really looking for, which in this case is getting the child back to a permanent family. So I think that's how we're approaching technology and what we've seen in the past for technology. And we'll see where it goes. Hopefully Thriveable is going to lead the way on that.
Yes.
And InApp's helping us bring that technology to market and really innovate on it.
Thanks so much for that insights into the technology and how it benefits everyone. System. You also talked about working with InApp, right? So we are also really excited about our partnership. We have been working with you for last 3 years, and we are hoping to continue that for many more years.
Yes, absolutely. And InApp, you all have been such an amazing partner to us. I think that it's not just about fulfillment of requirements. It truly is a relationship of, hey, how can we achieve what we're trying to achieve? And having that collaboration with the team has been amazing. And I also just very much appreciate how open they are to trying something different, right? Even within our 3 years, we've gone through many different processes of how we're executing on delivering product, and the willingness of the team to be flexible and make those changes to adapt to what Miracle Foundation needs. It's been really excellent.
Thank you so much for the encouraging feedback. Yeah. So, looking ahead, what are the next steps for Miracle Foundation? How do you envision the future of child welfare?
Well, with child welfare, I think there are a couple of different things that we're envisioning. One, we want to live in a world where institutional care is not necessary or very minimally necessary. It should only be used in case of emergency, not as a standard, where family-based care is the alternative when families are in need. And for us, we're going more global. So we want this to be a global initiative because, again, with child welfare, 80% of it's the same across the world. So why not learn from what we're doing and apply it across the globe instead of just to the specific areas that we're in? So today, we're in India, we're in the US, we've started going into East Africa, we're in Uganda. We just started working in Uganda, but we're going to be looking at other countries to support. That's what we're going to do, and we're going to be working, continue to evolve our application, ThriveWell, to do more in the way of helping case managers support those children in getting home or staying home.
Yeah. Thank you, Katie, for your insightful responses. So it is clear that there are a lot of work being done and a lot of important work that is in the future.
Yes.
So we appreciate your dedication to improving the lives of children in need. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for partnering with us to do that.
Once again, thank you, Katie, for sharing your valuable time on this important topic. So we'll wind up the session now. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You want to add any closing notes?
Oh, no. I just really appreciate your hospitality for anybody. We've had multiple team members come and visit InApp. I'm pretty much like the last one. But just we really appreciate your hospitality. It's so wonderful coming here, getting to meet the team, having the opportunity to come and meet with the team in person. And really just, again, your partnership as a whole, because we could not accomplish what we are accomplishing without support of the team here, and just really them acting like an extension of the team, right? They don't feel separate. They are a part of Miracle. And in fact, our CEO talks about them as part of the Miracle team. So it's just that level of collaboration and partnership is very much appreciated. And again, we couldn't do it without your support.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Katie.
And thank you all for coming out today.
Thank you everyone for joining this session today. Have a great day.